So I've made a change to the user interface for my copy of the poker program, and I want to make this optional. So if you like the interface that it currently has, feel free to keep using it. But let me show you the new version that I'm going to be using. And I put a little border around the draw button, but the big difference is that in the original version, you keep all the cards that are face up, and when you click on a card, it shows the playing card back, and that means that you're going to draw that card. But in this version, when you click on a card, you get a little hold icon over it. So no hold icon means it's going to draw the card. Hold icon means it's going to keep the card. So I kept the queen, and I'm going to keep the queen, and I'm going to keep the tens, and keep the tens, and so on. So pretty similar, but the reason I made this change is there's really two reasons. The first reason is that overall you end up with fewer key clicks to play a hand, which is more efficient. And most importantly, I found out that actual video poker machines do it this way instead of the other way. So if you ever really do want to play with a video poker machine and you're using this to figure out how to do that, probably best to use a similar interface to what you're actually using on the real machine, where by default you draw all the cards and you mark which ones you want to hold. So I'm going to go ahead and implement that change now. And as I said, you're invited to either keep your existing interface or play along. I don't think it's going to affect anything else in the course. But what I've done is in the walkthrough video part 2, at the top of the page, there's a link to the hold image that I used. And so I'm going to right click on that and save link as XAMPP htdocs, and then wherever I have my project folder, so I'm going to be storing this in video poker, and then the images folder in video poker where all your playing card images live, just go ahead and save this hold.png right there. Okay, so that's the image for the hold icon that I'm using. And then I'm going to start implementing this. So the HTML is going to be a little bit different here. And here's the part that shows the card. And you'll notice there's a div box at the top, and then a card image inside of that div box, and then a closed div at the end. And we're going to change this to have two images inside of here. So the card image and then the hold image, which is going to overlay the card image. So echo, and I'm going to make that line up. So image class is hold image, echo, and then here I'm just going to have an ID equal, and then I'm going to have a hold key and ID, and that should be in double quote. So let me put a double quote here, and then a double quote here. And then the image source is going to be hold image. And that should be everything I need for this tag. So close off the double quote, close off the image tag, and then I'll add a \n to the end. So now my div box has two images in there. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this card source because I'm not going to need it anymore. And I'm also going to move this card ID onto the card div instead. Okay, and then I'm going to move this card ID into here. And I think that should be everything I need for now in this file. So I created some constants, hold key and hold image. So let's add them to poker constants. So hold image is going to be images dot hold dot png, and then hold key is going to be the word hold. And then in poker.css, I'm going to make a couple of changes. So I'm going to start by making the card div be position relative. And then I'm going to create a hold image class, and make the max width 100% and max height 100%. And then cursor will be pointer. And then I'm going to add a left relative position. So left colon, and then I'm going to calculate this. It's going to be 100% minus card image percent. So that's how much smaller the card image, the hold image, is than the background card div. And then I'm going to divide that by 2 to center it. And then that's going to be percent. Okay, now I may need to come back here and do some more to this, but let's go ahead and see how it looks so far. So I'm going to pop the browser back up. And I'm going to go back to Video Poker. Okay, so undefined index card 0. So I'm going to go back. I'm on the draw page and I don't want to be. Let me go back here. And now let's try it. Okay, so we're getting there. There's our hold images and they're the right size, but we need to be up here, so we also need to add top colon 0 pixels. So let's go ahead and position absolute. And I need to put an echo here. So reload. And I had a breakpoint in the debugger. Great. Okay, so that's how it looks with the hold images all on there. And then I need to change what happens when I click on the card div to, instead of toggle the background of the image, I want to toggle this hold button. So let's look at the JavaScript here. And when the thing starts up, make cards clickable. So I'm adding an event listener for toggle card. And so this is going to be a little different. So I'm going to need the hold key is PHP echo hold key. And then in toggle card, I'm going to go ahead and get the hold image, which is document.get element by ID, hold key plus ID. So this should be the hold image right here. And then if I'm keeping the card, I want to make that invisible. Actually, I'm sorry. If I'm keeping the card, then it should say hold, so that should be visible. Whereas if I'm drawing the card, then it's hidden. And I also want to start with them all hidden. So here where I'm clearing keep or hold, I want to make it be draw. And then finally, back in my poker CSS, the visibility on these should be hidden to start with. So the default is you draw everything. In poker code, change this to card key, which is the class of the div box. Yeah, so that should work. So let's go ahead and reload. Click. Ooh. So I'm going to keep the king and draw. Good, and it worked. Keep the queens, draw. That worked. One more time. That worked. And then I'm going to draw all 5. And that worked. Okay, so only one other thing to do. I'm going to style this draw button to match the hold image a little bit better. So I'm just going to add a border to this. So in poker.css, my draw image, draw button rather, I'm going to add border, let's go 3 pixels solid black, and then reload. Okay, so close enough. This image is going to scale when the window is bigger, and so the fact that it's the border's a little narrower than this one, I think I'm okay with that. So one more cleanup thing, and then we're done. In my toggle card, I'm setting the image of this div box here, which the source doesn't make sense. So I don't need that anymore. And I don't need that anymore. And I can probably get rid of some of these constants as well. So I don't need card source, and I don't need card back. And I'm pretty sure I don't need card class too, which is why it's grayed out there. And then in CSS I could probably get rid of some of these styles as well. But I'm going to leave those alone for now. And let's make sure I haven't broken anything. Still looks okay. So let's draw everything. Flush draw. Draw. Hit the flush.